theater on Twitch. Unheard of. And so inspiring and so cool. If you want to, please go check out the rest of the schedule for the virtual. To catch these creators, they've all been live streaming as well, their whole entire process, and it's been so cool to watch. Yeah, it was last night. Amazing. So yeah, that was like a handmade collage of. We're going to introduce the five spades. We are going to be seeing Cirque Lunicas, and we're going to be seeing Lexily Harlow, as well as Merdrea Star, and Miali Music as well, Fiery Ashes, and a shout out to Carol G for the mod support. And throughout this entire process, they wanted to give a little shout. So the piece is called The Rhapsody in Rouge. The log line is this. When crimson crimes come calling, Detective Rex Diamond answers. In the city of smoke and jazz, Rhapsody, LA, we learn what mystery makes a malintended murderer. Tune in for this noir-style drama. Okay, so let me cue this up with a link. And we are hosted on Cirque's channel. Cirque Lunicus. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Hold on. Yeah. All right. And we're going to change scenes for our final team, the five spades. Curtains up.
It's been years since I started in this grimy town of crime. Rhapsody, Louisiana. A town as red in blood as it is in name. You know, most people, they don't see the dark underbelly. They're happy to live their life in the sun. I, however, I know what this city's really like. Now, she's a dame on the surface, hot and smoky with all the allure of a woman's caress. But underneath, she's like a dagger, pressed into the heart and soul, cold, somehow familiar. When 20 years passed like a whirlwind, jazz and cigarettes passing days like a breath on a saxophone's reed. I read in the news today they finally made a development on one of my old cases. It's all in the papers. Finally, the one case that almost beat me comes to light. I always wondered what goes on in the mind of a murderer. What cog in the machinery slips so violently? It enables us to break one of our most core tenets of society. And perhaps we're all really just animals in pinstripe suits. Maybe that's not wrong. Maybe that's why they call a city the urban jungle. We're apes, pretending we're better than the rest of the zoo. You know, fighting over territory, both tangible and of the heart. No wonder I'm hanging up this hat for good. I'm closing this book. Look at all these pages. Each one, a body that lived, breathed, and died. I remember every one as clearly as the day that it happened. But not a few. Now, a few stand out in particular. Yeah, those shocked me. To my very core. To the core of my being. Because of the viciousness and the motive. No. You know, isn't it interesting how our lives dance to this Rhapsody and Rouge.
Well, friends, it's time to take a look at the life of Rex Diamond, detective extraordinaire. In this scene, we're taken down to a dock, sitting just off the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. Here, Detective Rex Diamond made one doozy of an arrest. This hard-boiled egg of a man discovered two mobsters sitting on a dock. But what exactly happened that day? Well, let's find out.
What was that?
It was a foghorn, kid. What, you think Sam came back to life with the sound of the rapture? Quit being so jumpy. It's the middle of the night. There's no one here but you, me, some gulls and fish, and a guy we ran over with a car.
We really didn't have to do that. It doesn't feel right.
I would have given him a decent shot to the head, but he took off running. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. Hey, look on the bright side. Fix that back pain he was always complaining about.
That's not funny.
It is a little.
Okay, maybe it's a little was funny. Still, my mama always said you shouldn't speak ill of the dead.
I don't know, kid. He doesn't seem to mind. Not a peep. Not even a bubble.
How'd you get into this anyway? You seem pretty smart. Surely you wouldn't have been able to make it without this little circus we work for.
I wouldn't call it a circus, kid. It's more like a school of really dumb fish.
What is with you and the fish?
I don't know. Maybe it's the ambiance.
Maybe. You still didn't answer my question.
I was a shoe salesman, if you could believe it.
Yeah, dealing in cement pairs.
Shut your mouth, kid, and listen. It was before the stock market took the same trip as our friend just did. Straight to the bottom in the darkest way possible. Wasn't much left for a door-to-door salesman when people could barely afford to feed themselves. Dried up. No more leads, no one left to purchase. An old friend of mine came along just as Prohibition hits the streets. You know what needs a good salesman to move? Watered down booze. Even when people are desperate for a drop, they're gonna go to church where they pay $50 a bottle. Then it was hard drugs once that dried up, but hey, it's a living. The people at the top piss down on us in most cases. Here, we're all equal, valuable members of the team. At least that's how it feels.
Yeah, equal and valuable until a Model T is parking on your spinal column.
What about you, kid?
Well, I was a soldier during the Great War. It wasn't so great if you ask me. All the papers, the songs, and even the movies depicted it as this heroic fight against evil. When we got home, though, after all the ticker tape had fallen and the marching band were quiet, it was tough luck, kid. Go get a real job. No college, an injured leg, and a kid to feed. I had nowhere to run. Like you, someone I knew pulled me in and made me an offer. Kinda like shaking hands with the devil. I knew he was no good. But with an empty stomach, Satan looks like a savior in the twilight.
That's profound, kid. You're modern-day Shakespeare.
Evening, friends. Seems like, you've been busy tonight. You mind if I join you for a bit?
I'd ask who you are, but I think I know. Rex Diamond, yeah?
How'd you figure that?
You're the one who took down that three-legged Jimmy out by Baton Rouge. Boss have been wondering if you showed up here.
You heard all the way that down here in Rhapsody. Wow, news does travel fast, doesn't it? Well, I think you both know where we're headed now. Now, you want to do me the favor of coming quietly? Or should I be looking out for tire tracks?
Nah, I think I speak for the kid and I both when I say we're tired of this racket. Maybe it's time to make like fish bait down there and wrap it up. There's a lot to look forward to in the slammer. 3 squares a day, hot in a cot. Here they even teach you a new dance called the hot squat.
That's shocking to hear from you.
Yeah, come this way. I got a police wagon waiting in the wings.
Thanks, kid. For all the good times, eh?
Yeah, let's do it again sometime.
And so it was that the two mobsters were taken away, never again to see the light of a summer day. But That's not the only case that left our intrepid detective rattled. Everyone talks about the evil lurking in the hearts of men, but it's rare to hear mention of the woman scorned. Detective Rex found himself over the bloody corpse of Mr. John Wilkerson, father of two and loving husband. Loving for someone else. Let's hear what Mrs. Betty Wilkerson has to say. Here we find her clinging desperately to a heart-shaped box of chocolates, masking the broken heart that lies beneath.
Come on in, Detective. Would you like some sweet tea? Maybe a glass of lemonade? Sorry about all the mess. Mother always said you should clean up before company comes over. Although I'll admit it would be a little hard to carry him out of here on my own. And then there's all the blood. Sorry about that. It came out like an ocean. I never knew there was so much in a man.
Can't believe why you did it.
I suppose you're wondering why I did it. It's not that big a mystery. Honestly, it's been a lifetime coming. After years of telling me he loved me. Never showing it, but telling me. I guess it was just time.
Sounds
And so much
exciting.
has gotten a kiss from him. For years. All I was good for in his eyes was making sure the kids and him were fed, the house was clean, he had a cold beer on the weekend. That's it.
It's an exciting life.
I think you can see why I got so excited about finding this little box hidden way up high in a closet. Chocolates from my favorite company down by City Hall. You know the one. Jacob Brothers Confectionery. He had it all wrapped up in a little bow and covered with a rose pattern paper. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy I ripped it open a few days later. After all, it was 2 days from Valentine's Day. I didn't think he'd be too upset. That's when I found it, however. The card inside the wrapping. Dear Charlene, I hope you enjoy the treat as sweet as you.
That wasn't your name, though.
My name's Betty.
Yeah.
I kept the box hidden, leaving it in the kitchen cabinet, but it kept bothering me. I could see another woman's face next to his. Every time he talked or played with the kids, I could see him with a woman who wasn't me. That's where the blood began to boil in me. So I sat down one night, took a deep breath, pulled his old gun from the bedside table and made dinner. His favorite. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob. Funny, still on the table. Probably not even cold. I waited until he sat down for dinner. I told him the kids were away and it was just the two of us in the house. He smiled as I said that. I thought maybe there's a chance for us after all. Then he said, I guess that means I get to go to bed early. That was the spark that set me off. I drew that gun, pointed it at his forehead, and begged him to say he loved me. I saw the light leave his eyes. He knew he couldn't. Not with any honesty. He didn't even have the spine to try. Now, he doesn't have the brains to dream up excuses anymore.
It's a shame. It's a waste of life. Sure, he made a mistake, but what you did? You can't come back from that. There's no takebacks.
I think if I had to do it again, if I had to make that choice, I'd still pull the trigger. My life was over when the note fell out of that box. I realized I had lived a dream, a fantasy. None of this was real. Even the memories were turning a shade of scarlet. What is love? If it's more than just a mask we wear, is it truth? Is it a connection so deep you pine away without the other half of your soul? No. Love is just an ideal we're sold, a used appliance of a feeling, a scam passed off with a smile that we take the blame for later.
You could have left him, let him live his life and run away. But this is something that's so cold and dark, it's gonna eat at your soul for the rest of your existence.
I know, but it was a ghost I'd have to banish either way. Death is a part of life, though. I guess that's how it is for everyone. A few moments of sweet life followed by a sudden and abrupt end. Kind of like chocolate.
We promise each other to love one another into eternity, but can we really keep that vow alive? The heart wants what the heart wants, but maybe sometimes it isn't quite sure. Let's look back at his very first case. Rex Diamond found himself alone, combing through the apartment of a lounge singer. As he worked, he thought about what she'd written in her diary, her voice following him like a haunting wind on an October night. That sweet siren, now silent forever. Oh, however, how her song played on in his thoughts on that lonely fall evening. That stunning voice of the Scarlet Fatale.
The man came in, he was dressed all in red. Give him my heart and let me dead. The baddest angel returned nevermore. I thought it was true and it was l'amour. L'homme est parti et j'embrasse la mort. L'homme est parti et j'embrasse la mort.
No. She cut quite the figure. Soft and warm. She had wit like a gunshot. She was a tall drink of water. You know, you might even say she was a body of water. Wait, no, that's not a good one. I gotta work on that. But I was under her spell from the moment I saw her. That spotlight, highlighting the virulence and the warmth of her. No, that was contrasted against the smoky atmosphere of the friendly hell. Oh, the night spent in that club. I tell you, I can hear her calling out from her journal as I look around, like something longing for the heady feel of yesterday.
You always came to the club just before I took the stage. I would see your face in the crowd every time. Always alone, back to the wall. You sipped whiskey like it was water. Funny the things you think about at night.
I still don't know what happened exactly. Like, it's something I've got to put my mind to. I've got to work on it for a while. No, it's... What could drive a man to do this to you?
Always wondered what you were like. You seemed so sad. Like the weight of the world was pressing down on you. Are you feeling as lonely as I am? We're worlds apart, separated by light and shadow, but somehow I feel close to you. Sometimes it's almost like I'm singing, but just for you. Was that a smile I thought I saw on your face?
You were an angel. No, that should have been lifted up from this world of ours. This world of sin. You belonged on a cloud. You belong singing for the cherubs, not down in this pit with me. Every time I heard your voice, it stirred salvation into my soul. I wanted to be better. I wanted to reach that ivy tower. I wanted to pull myself up. No, instead, the world found its way to drag you down.
You came in again today, but something was different. Instead of sorrow, you had a look of fear or anger on your face. At this distance, it's hard to tell. I could feel the ice gripping your heart. It almost made my voice catch. You were like a rain cloud that finally opened. But what's this running down my face? Tears, but why?
Who was that man that I saw you with? No, you sat on his lap? Your hand was on his face? I never knew that you could have the same drives as a mortal could. Did Prometheus bring the fire down to us? The fires of passion? Or did we make them ourselves? What is this feeling? Seeing that smile on your face, it's like something I can't understand. It's like a ray of light in the cave of deep sorrow. It's alien, but no. I want to see it again.
I don't know what I did to upset you. I always considered you a kindred spirit, someone who knew the way this world could weary you. Now I'm not sure. You seem like an animal behind the bars of a zoo. The look on your face says you understand what's happening in the world around you, but you're powerless to change it. Oh no, my heart beats for you. I want to tell you it's okay. There's still something in the world that we should live for. Maybe tomorrow night we see each other again. Maybe then I'll finally cross between my world of stars and touch the foundations of your earth.
It was so hard to see you like that. You lost the warmth of life, and I could feel the world getting colder along with you. I don't know, maybe it's all the same in this indifferent universe. We're just shadow puppets to keep whatever god miles this cockamamie world entertained. But no. To me, you were something special. You were a once-in-a-lifetime event. You were the birth of a star on a moonlit night. How could it have come down to this?
I finally talked to you today. Two souls alone in a crowded room. Both of us in isolation among the rats in the city gutters. The friendly hell where one sinner could find another. I could tell at once that you were something special. Sitting next to you, I could feel myself tremble. It was cold in the room, but my face burnt. I could feel the cold air snake into my chest as I started to speak. But then you looked at me, something in that gaze made me silent. Who are you?
You were always the queen of my heart. The diamond in the rough. You were the one shred of humanity framed by a nightclub stage. My heart was as black as the ace of spades, but you made it seem better. I didn't know you, but something in me pulled me towards you. All those nights, all those songs, those subtle glances in my direction. I was a torrent of a man. I was lost in a sea of my own confusion, but I knew I had to do something.
Are you the devil?
No, the world had drugged you down to my level? It took a while, but eventually you finally became flesh and blood. A real woman sat across from me at that table. You wore that sleek red dress. Your face was a portrait of beauty, marred by the reality of the human being. I saw you tremor. Why were you afraid?
My heart feels cold. This gaze you've trapped me in. I can't escape. Is this a dream?
She froze me in place. Though my very essence was rage. What did I want to do? I needed to do something.
We're leaving the club now. I thought I was leaving alone. Out at the stage door. I could see you from the alley, a hungry shadow in the street light. I wasn't afraid. It felt distant. Something in me was still pulled to you. My man in rouge.
We came here alone, you and I. I felt so primal, so just unhuman. The devil on my shoulder was grinning, the angel was silent. I think we both know what's coming. But you don't run from me. Something on this night's gonna change our worlds forever. It's the final dance before our curtain falls.
I see it now. You are death. The Grim Reaper on my heels. As the sand of the hourglass starts to run dry. When will my heart beat for the last time? You are my angel, my Lucifer. I couldn't redeem you though. For that, je suis désolée.
I think I loved you. More than anything, more than anything, I wanted to keep you on that glass pedestal for the rest of my life. But soon, I came to realize you and I were just the same. I thought I loved you. But instead, I think I loved the idea of you.
I can hear you just outside the apartment. You're not forcing your way in. You're waiting, holding back. I can feel you begging yourself not to do it. We both know you will. I should have seen it earlier. That shadow on your face. I thought it was just the club. But no, it was the face of a killer. I don't blame you though. I blame Rhapsody and Baton Rouge and all the other infestation of the world. So what I have to say is au revoir, mon amour.
I found the bullet. After all the time searching, I found it. But surely somebody heard. Maybe I'll pay the piper before the sun rises. But no, it's all too quiet. Time has slowed down. It's a soft ticking to mark the passage of time now that the world is without you. This night, it may be eternal. I don't think I'll ever feel warmth again. Not in the sun, not in the summer. No. I wrapped the gun up in newspaper. I buried it somewhere they'd never find it. No, but no. You did nothing wrong. But somehow I couldn't help but see your imperfections. Who knows? No, all I know is there's others out there. Others with the same primal rage in their hearts. And all I can do is bring them to justice in your name. And you know what's funny? I never really bothered to learn it.
It's been some time since that fateful night, Detective Rex Diamond took a life, snuffed out like a candle by the capricious winds of passion. Now, his time is drawing close to an end. Already the lawmen are on their way, and Rex knows his time is coming soon. Let's hear what this sinner has to say for his salvation.
It's funny. The gun that I wrapped in the newspaper, it's now in the papers. That's some ironic sense of humor the universe has. And it's almost over. The ticking clock can finally stop. It may be hard to believe, but I'm actually at peace with this. I always knew I was running on stolen hours. We walk around, heads held high, thinking we're the kings of everything. That humans are good and trustworthy. Well, let me tell you something, we're not. No one is. Anyone can fall over the edge when the river of life takes the wrong bend over a cliff. Fate is determined by every breath we take. And I think I have my answer. What makes someone step out of their element of everyday life? The heart and the hunger to find a new place within this life? Sometimes that voice, it gets overwhelming, so loud and impossible to drown out. That voice tells you it's easier to take a life than live a lie. That voice that says, this is the way to feed a starving belly. That voice that says your world is just as corrupt as you are. But still, we all dance through this life together. A crimson ballet. Rhapsody, what have you done to me? To my life? I guess that's just how the world is. Jazz, cigarettes, and murder. The inventions of man. Come on in, officers. I've been waiting on you.
Oh my goodness. So many good moments. Just wow.